So you're ready to leave your campsite, but your RV's not. What do you do? Hey friends, Jeff here with RV Optimizer, and I want to share with you 2 tips that I hope you never have to use, but just in case, you're a little bit more prepared. So one of those things we're going to cover is what happens if your awning won't retract all the way. Well, I'm going to show you a tip on how you can manually retract it, so at least you can leave and get on to your next destination. The other thing I'm going to cover is electric valves for your black and gray water tanks. What happens if those electric valves stop working for you? Well, we're going to cover a tip on how you can manually override that as well, so at least you can dump your tanks. And now, even though I'm going to show you the products that are on my Airstream Atlas, the chance of these being on yours are very similar, are pretty great. We're going to talk about the Carefree awning that's on mine. Carefree makes awnings for a lot of these size RVs in the industry. So same as the black and gray water tank valves, there's a good chance that these are the same type that are on yours as well. Before we get started, if you could click on the link below and subscribe to my channel, I would greatly appreciate that. Now let's get going and talk about the tips that could help you if your RV is not ready to go when you are. So to tackle the awning, we'll do that first. You do need a ladder or some way to get to the top of the front of the awning. We're going to remove that front cap. That will be the first thing we do. So there's one screw right here that holds this awning cover on over the mechanism we need to get to. So I'm going to remove that one screw. So now that I have that screw out, you basically take this and you kind of slide it up a little step, and then you pull that off. And that is where we need to get to, right here. This is what mine came with, a little socket. It looks like about a 1/2 inch extension on a ratchet. And basically what you do is you put that in here and you will just ratchet this to your awning comes all the way in. Now, one thing you'll notice when you get to this part is that you can see the arrows on here. This is only made to pull in or retract your awning. You cannot take and push your awning out using this mechanism here at all. So once you have that ratcheted in and your awning's all the way flush, then you just put your cover back on. And the one thing you'll notice here is right here in this part of the awning cover is a little lip. And so you'll basically have to take and put that on and kind of slide it into its position and then put that one screw back in to hold it in place. So with the screw back in and the cover back on and the awning retracted all the way in, that's really all you have to do. It's actually fairly straightforward and simple. At least that's how it worked for me, and I hope it does for you as well. Okay, so now we're in the back of the RV where the tanks are. I have 2 electric valves here, one for the black and one for the gray. I have a macerator as well, so that really doesn't change anything. You could have electric valves without having a macerator. But what happened to me was the system said the black valve was not closing all the way, so it wouldn't let me open and empty my gray tank, which was all the way full. And so I was trying to figure out, how do I empty that so I don't have to drive down the road with all that extra weight in the back. And so we're going to get underneath here, and I'm going to show you where those valves are and what you can do to manually open or close those. So I'm under the RV, and you can see this right here that says auto drain on it. That's the electric valve. That one happens to be for the black. And coming over here, there's one for the gray as well. So if you flip around here to the back side of this is on both. And this is the part that you can actually, they have it so you can adjust. So you can adjust these nut here and here to actually seats all the way. But this, even though it doesn't seem like you could, you pull on this. Now, I'm not going to do it on my tank right now, but if you take and pull this all the way out, you can literally open that entire valve up so that you can flush or empty that tank. And same thing, when this comes all the way out, you can push it all the way back in and that will close the valve on that tank, regardless if the electric piece is working or not. So it's a pain in the rear end to get underneath here. It's a pain to find these, but once you do and you hit this, it's not too difficult, but I will tell you, it doesn't seem like it should open or close. You really have to pull on it to make it work. So that's just a really quick video to show you those two tips. I hope you never need them, but just in case, now you're a little bit more educated on really how simple it is to do those two things, which could feel like you're left stranded somewhere. So with that, I hope all your future trips are optimized.